I need more of these. Herschel Walker all the way. Free gas, free gas. Put him in that office.
A radical right extremist political action committee called 34N22 supporting the election of Herschel Walker was out in Georgia today for a nefarious publicity stunt, giving $4,000 in gas vouchers to 160 people for $25 each. Now, let me tell you why this conduct likely constitutes a felony under Georgia state law and federal law. The political action group tweeted about the publicity stunt in the morning, and in the tweet they said, quote, "This is why we need to elect Herschel Walker," as they gave out these gas voucher money. Now, let's look at Georgia law. Georgia law, specifically 2020 Georgia Code Title 21, Chapter 2, Article 15, Section 21-2-570 states the following, quote, "Any person who gives or receives, offers to give or receive, or participates in the giving or receiving of money or gifts for the purpose of registering as a voter, voting, or voting for a particular candidate in any primary or election shall be guilty of a felony." Here, this radical right political group gave or offered or participated in the giving of money or gifts, here a $25 gas voucher for the purpose of registering as a voter or voting for a particular candidate. Here it says elect Herschel Walker. The tweet literally says that, and the goal of this radical right extremist political group is one purpose: to elect Herschel Walker.
I need more of these. Herschel Walker all the way. Free gas, free gas. Put him in that office.
Incredibly, this radical right political group had its lawyers, who call themselves Statecraft Law, send a letter to a Georgia reporter saying they did not violate any law because they did not, quote, require the people to vote for Herschel Walker when they gave them these gifts. Yet the Georgia law says nothing about requiring people to vote for someone or register to vote for someone in exchange for the unlawful gift. They are just making shit up. Think about how disgraceful this Herschel Walker group is. This is from the Georgia GOP that railed against nonpartisan groups giving water bottles to voters and food to voters in a state which makes it incredibly difficult to vote and where you have to wait on lines for hours and hours and hours to even find a place to vote or to register. So for the GOP that said this was horrible conduct, now they want to go and try to buy off voters, which is apparently what they're doing here. Also, this scheme by this Herschel Walker radical group, which is basically the same thing, Herschel Walker radical and any group that supports Herschel Walker, may also violate federal law. And let me explain why. 18 USC 597 says the following, and the Herschel Walker lawyer group doesn't address this in their letter, quote, "Whoever makes or offers to make an expenditure to any person, either to vote or withhold his or her vote, or to vote for or against any candidate, shall be fined under this title or imprisoned not more than 1 year, or both. And if the violation was willful, shall be fined under this title or imprisoned not more than 2 years, or both." This could not be clearer. This was an expenditure or an offer to make an expenditure to people to vote for Herschel Walker or to withhold a vote from Warnock. So ask yourself, this is what I ask myself, who could come up with something so nefarious, so freaking stupid, and apparently, based on the statutes I read and how I interpret them, to be unlawful? Now look, I think I would even be slightly more sympathetic to this group if they actually wanted to solve the damn problem, like the Democrats do, who want to pass laws against price gouging by gas companies, which all Republicans have voted against. And by the way, Democrats actually would love to help people like these voters, and we would love to pass policies to help them get relief during these tough economic times, which Republicans consistently filibuster. But just think about what this group is even doing. This stupid group. They're giving away $4,000, which is $25 to 160 people. You know what this reminds me of? It reminds me of Trump throwing paper towels at the people in Puerto Rico after they were hit with a hurricane there where thousands of people died. That's what this stupid stunt reeks of. This Herschel Walker group doesn't want to help people. It wants to use people as props to elect Herschel Walker. And as I looked into this radical right extremist stupid group to figure out who was behind it, I had an aha moment. It's the worst political operative in the history of politics who's behind these efforts. Someone by the name of Stevie Lawson, or who we call him at MeidasTouch, Little Stevie Lawson. Now, Little Stevie blocks me, so I don't know what he tweets anymore, but he ran looting Kelly Loeffler's communication efforts in 2020 and 2021, which went down as the most incompetent and disgraceful, shameful campaign in political history. And now little Stevie Lawson is back up to his same old tricks again. Now, knowing that little Stevie Lawson is behind this radical group, the so-called 34N22, which stands for Herschel Walker's football numbers and the year 2022 real original. This is good news, of course, because there's no one more sloppy or incompetent in politics today than Stevie Lawson. So it's the perfect partnership with Herschel Walker. That said, we must not let these incompetent radical right morons destroy our country. And when we see foolishness like this, we must always call it out. If you want to watch more on Herschel Walker's bizarre and disturbing conduct over the years, check out the MeidasTouch video. It's called Walker Fumbles. It's on our YouTube channel, and you could check it out on Twitter as well using the hashtag Walker Fumbles.